I'm gonna go ahead.
There's a
If you
lot
need
to
to
talk
mute-
about today.
There's a lot to talk about today. If you need to mute yourself because you're afraid that you might just start blasting in, go ahead. Feel free to mute yourself. We have we're encouraging people to have the voice chat channel up so that they can talk, if possible. Go ahead and also type in game. That way, the people that don't have two monitors that they can actually see what is being asked as well.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
Pretty
mute
much what we
myself
do
now.
every month.
Okay, mute yourself. Go
That's
ahead.
fine. Yep, go ahead.
Got it.
If you don't have a second monitor, you need to buy second buy one. Don't waste your
That's
money.
not always an option. That's not
Stop,
always an
stop,
option.
It was a
stop,
joke.
Monica. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you guys remember, Dusty does record these meetings. Any kind of event meeting is family friendly only. So make sure that you guys are saying
Well,
family friendly things.
isn't this more of like a serious meeting with serious
It is a serious
stuff
meeting,
that we
but
don't want on
regardless,
YouTube?
No.
it's fine. It could be on
Okay.
YouTube. It's just remember, it's family friendly. So keep it clean. And the rules with events are no deaths, no trying to kill each other, no trying to find a way around it, no drowning ourselves. Let's stay in the building, and that way we can get through the meeting. Then after the meeting, we're gonna head over to the end and have a dragon and wither fight. And so
you can
head over
die
there.
all you want.
You can die all you want. You guys can just kill each other and die all you want. If you go, remember to drop your inventory first. Don't take your good stuff. We'll have a couple shulkers down, but regardless, make sure you don't have your good stuff. All right, I think we're good to go ahead and start.
No, we have 1 minute left.
1 minute. That gives me a
3
10.
seconds.
Oh my gosh.
Still 2 p.m. Eastern right now.
It's 2
what did you
o'clock.
do to be able to see your cape?
Videos,
It's 2 o'clock.
video details, video settings, details, and then in there was cape show on off.
Oh, mine's on.
Oh.
All right, so let's get started. So welcome to September's Player of the Month. It feels like it was a really long time since our last one, because the way the day fell, we pretty much had an entire week where we usually don't. So it feels like it's been a while, but welcome back. And today is a pretty important meeting, as I've been stressing to you guys. We're gonna, after we do Player of the Month, we have something that we're going to be doing for the first time on ACO, which is pretty exciting. And then on top of that, we're going to be talking about getting back to the core roots of what ACO is and letting you guys have a big part in deciding where ACO goes from here on. So I think we should start it, though, with Player of the Month. And for this week's Player of the Month, it was a very close, what's the word I'm looking for? It was very close.
It was practically a tie for first.
It was pretty much a tie. Yeah, one vote came in kind of late, and that broke the tie. But just know we've had this happen a few times now, and that's a great thing. That means you guys are being recognized by your peers. We had more votes this month than we've ever had. That's another great thing. For those new players that don't know how this works, admins do not decide Player of the Month. It's not like Player of the Week is on Outcraft. You guys vote for each other. We have a channel called Player of the Month, and in that, I will post 1 week before the poll. You go in, you say your name, and you say who you would like to see as Player of the Month. You can add something to it if you'd like. If you want, it's great. I always share those messages privately with the person after, but it's not a requirement. One thing I want to stress, though, is please only vote once. If you vote more than once, I'm only going to take your very first vote. Anything after that, I just kind of discard. So anyway, and yes, Mod Killer, I saw your message. I will do that, but let's get through Player of the Month first. So this month's Player of the Month is a newer player that joined more recently. This player came to us from Outcraft, like most of you have, and kind of jumped in and has started a community project of their own, has been very supportive, always comes into chat, welcoming not just a single person, but saying hello to everyone. Asks people how they are on a regular basis and is always there to help. And this person got a lot of votes with notes stating what a pleasant they are, or a pleasant addition to the community that they are. And so I would like to have Hope, Faith, Love. Can you come on up? You are September's Player of the Month. You were voted by your peers. So congratulations.
Good job.
Good
Congratulations.
job, Hope. Yeah. So really exciting to see that. And give me 1 second. I'm gonna put this up here.
That's unfair. Sorry.
We'll get a picture really quick.
So I have a gone tier spot. You're never gonna find me. I'm hunting. Tori, just turn it to something huge, and I'll tell you. I'm hunting again.
All right, and if you can come stand next to it, we'll get your picture.
Like this?
Yep, that's perfect.
All
Scooch back just a little bit if you can.
Tori, turn it to something
You
big.
could smile
go
a
ahead
little
and stand.
wider. Sheesh.
Go ahead and stand on the log right behind.
I'm hunter again.
There you go.
Just
There you go. That way I can get the sign in it too.
So just turn it to something and go to front door.
All right, thanks. So congratulations. It's always an honor. We only do 12 of these a year, and
Excuse me.
the more. Yes.
Can I get a screenshot as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Trying to get a good angle. Hey, Hope, can you stand back up there, please?
Of course.
Okay.
Oh, the house?
Hey, Blue.
Which level? First, second,
Me?
third.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Tori.
There we go.
Bananas.
Yes, Mod, you can.
It's hilarious because you weren't even facing that directly.
Yeah, well,
weird.
No, but I was facing it in.
I know you were, but anyway.
Yeah, it just looks
So-
like I wasn't.
All right, next.
Congratulations,
we're
Hope. It's pretty awesome. It's an honor to get Player of the Month. We have so many players that have done so many good things, and it says a lot that your community voted for you. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, sticking with the awards, I feel like this would be a good time to introduce the newest thing that ACO is going to be doing. So a few of you are familiar with a little thing called the Autism Father Sword. You guys all know what that is?
Never heard
ACO,
of it.
ACO in the past has had what they call the Philosopher's Pickaxe. That kind of went away with the whole Greek theme that was tied to the last spawn. And I believe the only person that's still here that had one, didn't you have one, Aquina?
Yes, I have one.
He has one.
hidden away.
Yeah. So hang on to that because that's
Wow.
a rare item at this point.
The only one.
Yep. When coming up with something, AF and I discussed and talked about it, and we wanted something that was strong, that would represent the player and what they have done. We also wanted it to be something that's tied to ACO, something that's not tied to a theme like the Greek theme,
Oh my
but
God,
more
you're
tied to
never
what ACO
finding me.
is.
You're
And
never
what better
finding
thing to do than something
will-
obsidian?
I will-
So we came up with the obsidian
I
bow.
guarantee you,
The obsidian bow has enchants on it that are not possible anymore.
almost.
The enchants are Flame, Infinity, Mending, Power 5, Punch, and Unbreaking 3. So it is a very OP bow. What?
I was just gonna say it's what used to be possible but isn't anymore.
Yep, is no longer able to be craftable. So whoever in the future gets this bow, just know, hang on to it, don't lose it.
Yeah, but please don't, because it actually has a special name and logo on it, which you can't do in Anvil stuff. So if it's
cannot
gone,
get
it's
replicated.
gone.
It's gone. So they will only be given out when they are given. It's similar to the AF sword. It's only given out when it comes up that a player stands out enough to do this. So
Yes,
we
Nick.
are excited to have our first one, and there's a player that has stood out amongst the community, and this player joined us about 7 months ago, and pretty much from the time that they joined, they have jumped in. They have created multiple events. They have made sure people's birthdays setups are done, that they feel special. They do a lot of behind the scenes stuff as far as making portal hallways, making sure players have what they need, and also keeping players in good spirits. You've probably multiple times gotten gifts from this player. When they see someone is down or having a hard time, they tend to go out and deliver little packages. And this is something that they've done on their own. It's not been admin suggested. It just shows a lot of character to the person. And AF and I discussed about giving out our first obsidian bow, and his suggestion was the same one I had, and that is Ryberry. So.
The person that's hiding.
Yep, the one that's hiding.
She knew what we were talking
I
about.
think she knew by the description.
Yeah, I knew as soon as you said building hallway.
Congratulations, Ryberry. And I'll tell you guys, I have to be honest, and AF can back me up on this. I did not want Riley to have it, and the reason why is she is obviously my daughter, and I did not want it to look like I was
Admin
being...
abuse.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And AF said, that's ridiculous. Anybody would say absolutely she deserves it. She was the one that was almost tied for today's player of the month. And every month she is almost tied or has won it before. So I think you can all appreciate the hard work that she does put into things like the events, the Pride event, the
I think you'd
amusement
all
park
agree.
event. Yeah, I think you all agree that she has gone above and beyond and does more than has ever been asked. And that's something, Riley, that is something that we look for, and that's something that stands out. It's not something we give away often. It's not going to be something we give away often. But when you do stand out and you do show such a strong community presence for multiple months in a row consistently, it is just know we do recognize that, and you will be rewarded for it.
Riley likes to
Alright.
shoot us sometimes. Oh
Yeah.
boy, this
So,
can be fun.
We have an area. The names for the obsidian bows will go in here on the wall. I'm not necessarily sure it's going to go where that sign's at, but we will find a place and make sure that it does reflect our obsidian bow winners, just like as far as the AF sword goes. So, all right.
Is it
So we
made
got
of
that out of the
obsidian?
way. Congratulations again to Riley.
Congrats and good job.
Congrats and good job. So everyone appreciates your hard work. So let's jump into the meeting side so that we can get this going and then get on to killing some withers and dragons, right? First thing I want to talk about is pranks. We have prank levels, correct? Okay, Ben, I will talk to you about that in just a minute. We will talk about it. We do have prank levels. The prank levels were created back when we had just a handful of players. The prank levels were created by a player. And right now the prank levels are currently no through 4. And 2 and 3 are very similar. Even 1, 2, 3 are kind of similar.
Yeah, just different time frames.
Just different time frames. No is no, 4 is extreme. I'm bringing it to you guys to let's simplify this. It is hard for someone to gauge what is going to be a 30-minute cleanup. What should have been a 30-minute cleanup took a player over an hour, and then it was so tedious that we had to actually do a rollback. So we can't really have that stuff go on. So I'm coming to you, Abby.
Yes, Obi.
I'm coming to you to say, what do you guys feel about simplifying the pranks? My suggestion is no, 1 and 2, or no, which would be no, small, big. Just something that it's, I'm comfortable with pranks. I'm not comfortable with a massive prank. And then on top of that, I feel like we need to put into effect no killing of animals. I lost about 80% of my animals in my barn and my farm, my whole entire farm, due to a prank, on top of having such a prank that it really was more griefing than anything. And to the point that I don't even want to clean it up because it's just going to take me a really, really long time. Now, do I have a prank for it? Yes, I did at the time. Do I regret that? Yes, I do. I don't want you guys to regret having a higher prank because you want to have fun. Pranks are meant to be in fun spirits. ET is the perfect. ET is perfect. That is a funny prank. That's a funny prank. Killing all my animals, that's not funny.
Basically, nothing should ever be lost. You shouldn't be losing your animals. You shouldn't be losing your builds. You shouldn't be losing that, because then that's griefing. The prank has gone too far.
Yeah, the prank has gone too far. So my suggestion is we simplify this. Let's make it, I'm okay with some pranks 1 and 2. We don't need the 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I would say no, 1, 2. And then on top of that, if you prank someone at a level 2, then actually I think it's an 80s movie. If we prank someone at a level 2, you expect to be pranked back at a level 2. No more of this, I prank them, but they can't prank me back. That's just not fair, and that's not in good spirits. So
yeah, you default. So if your prank level is 0 and you go prank somebody, well, guess what? Your prank level just changed because
your prank level just changed to what theirs did. Exactly. So, and I know it came up, well, I don't want my base pranked, so I'll create an area that you can prank. Well, those areas that have been created are nothing but literally portals with nothing there. So it's like, okay, well, you completely rearranged my house, but now I'm going to your portal to prank you back, and there's just grass and trees. So the thought is that we need to make this a fair playing field, and then also fun and enjoyable. So let's take some of this restriction away, and then just make it more simplified. Do you guys have suggestions?
So the bone thing would not be okay, correct?
The what?
What the concrete bone replacing your bone is not okay.
That would be, I would say, would be a larger prank, but again, it has to be you know, it has to be. And oh, this was the original rule of pranks. If you
Like,
prank,
you're not taking someone's build away. You're
you're
just
changing it. But here's the original rule of pranking is you have to be there to help clean up. So if you're going to prank, you have to be there to help put it all back, and that hasn't been happening. So it's like, haha, we all laughed here. Let me clean up because that was really funny. Things like that. So how do you guys feel about this? Like, what's now that we've had some more pranking in the past month or so? What are your guys' thoughts on it?
I vote that we do simplify it. As I did say in chat, I will talk to Dan concerning the prank war that he put on you and him. I don't want the resort pranked, and if with this new resolve, if Dan was to prank somebody, whoever it is, they'll come and prank the resort. Let me just say, I worked my butt off on that resort. I haven't had any help for anybody, not even Dan, except for gathering materials, for other people helping me gather materials and such. I don't want the resort pranked. I put in a lot of time and effort, so I will definitely talk to Dan about that. I do have to agree what Blue said about like having a portal for a place for like pranking that just leads to nowhere. I have to agree that isn't needed.
But you can't hide as a vine on.
So,
Oh my
I'll talk to
God.
Dan about that.
You're just
Okay.
bush right
Yeah,
now.
and then this is where it comes down to sometimes it's not so great to share a base because you may want pranks and he may not. Or vice versa. And so that's why it's okay to have a second portal for pranks, but make it a base. Don't just throw up a portal in the middle of a forest and call it your prank portal because there's nothing for us to prank. I mean, we could turn the whole floor into, red wool, but if you're never there, you're not going to see it. It kind of takes away the fun.
We're the older server over here in ACO. We all know what is and isn't fair. And if you're just making a portal and saying you can prank that, you know full well that you're not being fair. So that's why we're bringing it to you.
Yeah, and I like Abby's suggestion. Abby said minor, major. I think that's a great. I think, like I said, the more we can simplify this, the better. Now, major, I think we need to have a few rules to go with major. One, yes, you can die if you can set a tripwire because that is a major prank. You can kill them, but you cannot destroy their property. It's not this is a chance to grief someone and then call it a prank because you want to grief or loot them or whatever. It's supposed to be done in good fun and humor, and going and literally killing animals or doing the things that were done are just really far from any type of enjoyment, and it's going to make people not want to be involved in pranks.
And in that vein, yeah, like killing somebody with a tripwire or TNT or whatever, all that stuff is fun. But again, with losing stuff, if you pull a prank in the end or in lava and they lose all their stuff, that's not a prank anymore. That's serious stuff.
Exactly. So, and that's why, again, we're coming to you. What do you guys feel should be hard rules as far as major goes?
I feel we should go, instead of doing like 0 to 4, I feel like we should do 0 to 3, like 0 being none, 1 being some.
That's literally what we just said. No, 1, 2.
But I would like a third level and like 1, 2, 3, like 0, 1, 2, 3. Since I would like to have a base that I can let people go ape crap on, like blow it up, do whatever they want to it, make it their base.
Okay, that'd be a level. That would be the major. If we did the minor, major.
I think he means they can even grief.
Well, that's okay. So that's up to you. That's why I'm asking you guys. Because me personally, I just won't participate in major. If it can be literally just griefing, I'm just not going to participate in it because to me that takes the fun out of pranking, and that's why I'm bringing it to you guys. Like, what do you as a group want? Do you want it to where it can literally be griefed? Are you okay with that, or not? Okay, go ahead, Jake. It's your turn.
I like how Telly said no.
Hold on, Dusty.
Dusty, we're all kind of in line here. Go ahead, Jake.
I like how Telly said no, subtle, minor, and major.
Yeah, I think Abby said that
so
too.
pretty much no, middle.
Which is pretty much what I suggested, just different wording. Yeah, it's basically little prank, big prank, no.
I was gonna say the highest level could be called, where griefing is allowed, call that extreme.
Okay, that's another suggestion. It could be, yeah?
I like that.
No, subtle, minor, major.
Like minimal, extreme. But
Well,
what we really need to
well, the thing about what Modular was saying, where he wants to have a base where that he wants to have grief just for the fun of it or whatever, but that could be the extreme level.
I like, and Charlie's saying I like the extreme option because it's obvious what it includes, and I agree. And that's great. If you guys want that option to where we have an extreme that you can literally get completely griefed, like you lose your entire base, that's up to you guys. And if you guys want that ability, then absolutely we can do it. Let's just give it a name that truly reflects that. So that way, I'm just saying that way people know and they're not like, oh yeah, I want to prank 2 level. That doesn't sound bad, and then they lose their base. So it'd be extreme. So it'd be like minor, extreme. I think would be something like that.
I think subtle and minor are a bit too close together.
I don't remember. That's not even. We don't need him. It'd be more like no. No needs. I like no is no. I think we can't get away from no. It's no.
I think no, minor, major, and extreme.
I don't feel like we really need 3 though. No. We need like 2. So minor and I think we just need 2. So it'd be like no, and that no is by itself. We don't even need to talk about no.
No pranking. Pranking where nothing is lost or destroyed or broken or killed, and then one where anything goes.
Right. So it'd be like no, minor, and extreme. Something like that. We can come up with another word for minor if you guys don't like minor. I do like the word extreme personally. Because it is, like Charlie said, it was very clear for someone who doesn't know. It's very clear. Wow, wait, maybe I don't want to do extreme, which I did. I said I wanted 4, and I instantly regretted it. So, So no, minor, and extreme. Do you guys like the wording for those 3?
Yeah.
Minor, I might want to change. No, in extreme.
Can't we have more ones?
Yeah, I also like with low, but like having another one, like.
I thought we said we want fewer.
Well, yeah, and Loba, and see, Loba is kind of new. So we're wanting to take out the middle level is because the lower 2 are so much alike. Like literally, their cleanup time was I think 10 minutes apart, something like that. It was pretty minor, and it's really hard to gauge how long it's going to take someone to clean up.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's open to interpretation. If I have an iron pick, it's going to take me a lot longer to clean up obsidian than somebody that has efficiency 5 on a diamond.
Basically, Mod, you're saying not to change it at all. If you're saying we have 5 levels, I think good. You're saying that. You're saying pretty much that. So, I think the 3 is good because it's the more we have, the harder it is to figure out exactly what each one is. Again, we just had 2 instances in the past 2 weeks where they were not the appropriate rank. Like they were not the appropriate prank rank. Yes.
But for 5 levels, that's 0 to 4, and I want 0 to 3. Like that.
No, it's going to be. I think we've all pretty much agreed on.
Okay.
No. No is its own. We don't even need to talk about no. No is just no. No is no. Got it?
No.
We really don't even need to discuss no. So we need.
We're trying to, and you'll find that it's the common theme of this. Trying to avoid the petty little disagreements and people arguing about what this means versus what that means. So no more 10 minutes versus 15 minutes because what is that? So instead, none, some, anything goes. Simplified.
Right. We're simplifying it. That's what this meeting is all about, is simplifying things. Because the more it's like we keep having to micromanage all these rules to the point now we're in this very little box. And that's not what ACO is about. It never has been, and it's become that, and we're changing that today.
Yeah, Blue should not find herself in the private voice channel like every couple of days with somebody who's upset because they got pranked at a level higher than what they thought they were supposed to be pranked at, only because the other person thought it would be cleaned up faster than. You know what I mean? That's silly.
It's nitpicking. It's a lot of nitpicking. So let's. I think the majority of us all agrees, from what I can tell with messages and voice and everything. So we just need to come up with the terminology. Joey, you're writing the stuff down. Is Joey still here? Yeah, he's still here. He's muted. Okay, so I like extreme. You guys all agree with the last one should be extreme?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty clear.
Sounds good.
No is no. So what would you guys like to use with minor? Okay, I like minor too. I think minor is.
It doesn't have to be a word. Like there could be no pranks, there could be non-destructive pranks, there could be extreme pranks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
should
we
have
need to
an,
classify it. So
But-
it'd be non-destructive and extreme.
Non-destructive and extreme. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to be a specific word. Like, if somebody joins the server tomorrow, basically is my thought. If somebody joins the server tomorrow, they look at the rules page, they see the prank levels. Will they know what minor means? Will they know?
Right. Non-destructive
I like
makes
Charlie's
it very clear.
idea.
Yeah.
I like
Basic.
non-destructive. Okay.
I like
I like
simple.
it too.
Okay, so real quick, non-destructive, and extreme. Are we all in agreement?
Yeah.
That'll
Sounds
work.
good.
Yeah.
I like
Yes.
Yeah, Blue, that'll work.
Okay, good. All right, got it. Let's mark it down. Okay, so that takes us. You know what? Let's go ahead, and since we're kind of already discussing a little bit about ACO, let's go back to let's talk for a minute about ACO. So one of the perks, as a lot of you know, when you are an art crafter on AC and you're waiting until you age up so that you can play on ACO, some of the perks that you are really looking forward to are the freedoms. The freedom to get to talk about different things, the freedom to get to have PvP, the freedom to not have protections, the freedom to just get to be more grown up, but in the same safe environment of an Outcraft server. And this has been talked to me about a few times recently by different players, that this is kind of going away, and it seems like we are becoming more and more like Outcraft. And
Hi,
you know
Scotty.
what? Hi, Scotty. I completely agree with that. I completely agree that lately, with all the additional rules, even if they're not official rules, we have been kind of putting ourselves in this little box. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little bit over it, because what's happening is we are indeed, just like it's been suggested by the players, becoming more and more Outcraft. And that takes us away from what it is that we are about, what ACO is about. It doesn't mean that we're not still safe. It doesn't mean that we want it just to be the Wild West where you guys do whatever you want. But it also means that instead of making a rule, we put the trust back into the player. We trust you to not do these things, to not abuse things. And I believe in you guys, and I believe that you can do that without all these little micromanaging rules. And so because of that, there's things that we want to kind of reverse. One of those things, the first thing is the so-and-so punched me, can you ban them or jail them or whatever? One of the things about Outcraft is we don't have the protection on that you can hit each other, basically. We have PvP enabled. Now, is it fun when somebody comes up and kills you out of nowhere? No, it's not. It happened to me yesterday, as a few of you saw. It's not great, but should we punish the entire server because of it? No. My recommendation from here on out is the no touching each other rule goes right out the door. And what we do is the players that do that, let an admin talk to them specifically versus making server rules. How do you guys feel about stuff like that?
Yeah.
Now,
That's
one exception is sword fighting. So if you say no PvP, I don't consent, but you go up and hit somebody with a sword, Riley, then Riley gets talked to. Riley will have to talk to an admin about her trying to kill someone or killing someone without consent. If you go up and fist bump someone, like let's say Joey walks up and knocks you in the back because he's saying hello, that is okay. This is a survival server. It is okay. If you don't like it, please let everyone know ahead of time. Like, we already know certain players do not like to be touched. Let everyone know. If somebody does it to you, even though they know you don't like it, you can ask them, I've asked you to stop. Please don't. I don't like to be touched. If they still continue to do it, let an admin know. That at that point is more bullying than anything. Okay? So you still have the protection to not get it messed with, but it doesn't need to be a server rule that we can no longer hit each other. What do you guys think of that? There's so many muted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this comes down to the consent. Like, this has always been, since day one, a consent system for server, where everybody gives their consent to PvP, gives their consent to prank, gives their consent to visit each other, to go do whatever. And the same works in reverse. I don't even know what the opposite of consent is, but the same works in reverse, where if you ask people not to do a thing, then everybody else should respect that and not do that thing to them. Not to everybody. Not to everybody. If I say don't punch me, that doesn't mean I don't want you to punch anybody. It just means I don't want you to punch me.
Exactly. Let's take it back to our own personal preferences and not have to make rules because my own personal preference doesn't like to be punched. I'll be honest. Do I like to be punched? Not really. It actually drives me crazy. Do I deal with it? Absolutely. Why? Because I'm on a survival server. I'm on a hard
Blue.
survival server, and punching is involved. 1 second, Mod. So what we can do is we can reverse the whole no hitting each other. You're not allowed to do that, and just make it a person by person, situation where if somebody is chronically hitting you and you've told them not to and they aren't stopping, would you prefer us to talk to that particular person, or do you want us making rules for the entire server?
Well, Blue. Sometimes like people will come up and punch me to say hi, but sometimes I'm AFK there and they punch me and I'm on a ledge and or I'm moving. Like, don't punch me every 30 seconds. You can punch me to get my attention if I'm in a different tab, but don't punch me again.
If somebody's punching you repeatedly, then that person, you need to tell them stop. Don't do it. If they continue to do it, again, let an admin know.
Like, punching once, that's fine. As Blue said, that's some people's way of saying hello. But if punching repeatedly or even using a sword or any kind of weapon, that's another whole other issue.
Definitely.
Exactly. Now, again, if somebody comes lunging at you with a sword, you have every right to fight back to them. You have every right. Now, is it still okay that they started it? It's not okay they started it. Absolutely, it's not. And you can tell them, look, I didn't consent. Stop. If they continue, fight them back. If they die, they die. If you die, let us know that you did not consent. We can talk to that particular person. The reason you're here is because you are 15 and older. You are the more mature server. So we don't have to have these rules that are on Craft, because you, by default, should just know better when to do things and when not to do things. It kind of goes back to that unofficial rule we talk about called be a nice person. Just be a nice person. If you don't want someone to come up and hit you and attack you, don't do it to somebody else randomly. It's not okay. But as a group, what I'm asking you is, would you guys prefer us deal with the people individually that are kind of abusing the system? Or do you want it as a group to have these rules where you just are no longer allowed to even touch anyone?
Definitely the first option.
Yes? You guys all, can you put in chat real quick so I can see
or
your
speak
up
first.
or speak?
First.
First, okay. All right.
Individually, yeah.
And this again, it goes back to what ACO is about. It goes back to having the freedom and being able to do these things, but knowing better. We're preparing you guys often for life. We're preparing you for in real life situations. And it's hard to do that when we have a lot of little rules stopping you from learning these things on your own. So, I mean, not to say you're going to go up to your coworker and just punch him one day because you got to do it on a server, but it's definitely, it's just learning how to appropriately trust each other and talk to each other and communicate. It's a lot of
That would have been
communication.
tempting a couple of months ago.
But it's all about respect. Just respect each other's wishes. That's it.
Exactly. And be
common sense.
common sense. Don't be that guy. You know what I mean? Don't be the guy. Just be someone that, is here to support and play with each other, and not be, oh, I'm scared they're gonna hit me again, or like Maud said, don't knock anybody off a cliff. You guys know better. This isn't even something we should literally have to say. Obviously, if somebody's standing on a ledge, don't knock them off.
Aww.
I mean, we really shouldn't even have to say that stuff. So, all right. So, as far as now, animals, don't kill somebody's animal. I know that's happened in the past where somebody was on a horse, the horse got hit. That does include in that too. So let's leave animals alone. Don't kill each other's animals. Any questions on that?
What?
Before we move on to a different area, any questions?
No, I'm good.
I think
there you go, Telly.
I think Garrett needs a CPR kit next to him.
Who's Garrett? Oh, the horse. Yeah, Garrett. Poor Garrett. So
Blue.
okay. Yes. You have a question about that?
I don't have any
specifically?
questions.
Okay, let's move on then. All right.
Let's go.
So another area that has come up a lot recently is cussing. The cussing had to be minimized because it was being abused. It was being abused, and where it was being abused most was written Discord, and it was being abused by only, honestly, a couple of players. The majority of you all respected it, and you did it correctly. When cuss words would come out, it would come out because somebody was extremely upset or something was wrong. But what's happened is cussing happened for no reason. If you're mad at home and you're cussing because something, you just literally spilled milk all over your keyboard and we don't know about it, and you just start blasting the F word left and right, we have no idea what's going on. For all we see is you're just cussing. That's not so cool because we don't know what's going on. And that's why we limited it to cussing and voice only, because then at least it's reactionary we know what's going on. But in classic ACO form, that turned into nitpicking to death the rule to the point that we had to literally make it a rule not to have any cussing in Discord. I would like to see that reversed. AF would like to see that reversed.
It became offensive. It became frequent. It just became a problem, and a lot of people started getting upset about it. But if people just talked, if they just talked like they normally talk, but included swear words when appropriate, then that never would have been a problem.
Exactly. So
what blue? What blue? Like, say if I'm not gonna say it, but like, say
don't
for
say it. We're
example,
recording.
like someone said, like, look at this crap Apple did or something, like, but replace crap with another word.
First of all, you would never be saying that because we do not talk about stuff like that. Remember?
Right.
But I see what you're saying. You can. It needs.
But I mean, it's something that's not at all related to ACO. If anything, I'd say it belongs in tech.
But
we're not even discussing. Let's just move along. We're not.
Don't worry about the subject matter right now. But like, if I've actually, okay, you guys know I do not swear, right? Like, ever.
Right.
But I have found some funny memes, and I've actually shared them with Blue, and she's like, I can't believe you're sharing something with me that has a swear word in it.
Actually, you posted on ACO Discord before.
I have, and it's because it's funny, and it's because the swear word is just another word. It doesn't stand out as vulgar or offensive.
Right.
There just to be swearing. It's part of the joke. And then it's okay. And so even though I don't swear, I still shared it because the joke was the important subject matter. And I feel like on ACO, everybody should have that freedom to do that. But if somebody is going to take it too far and be swearing all the time, nonstop for the sake of swearing, and like just lashing out with nothing but swear words and stuff, then again, just like last time, we got to come to you guys and say, do we cut down on the swearing or do we deal with that player?
And that's where we're coming to you at. If we allow swearing back in Discord chat when it's appropriate, would you guys like that being added back where we now just talk to the individual players that are abusing it, or do you want it taking away completely like we had to do?
I'd say talk to the individual.
Yeah.
Individual, go ahead and post, you guys, so we can see.
I think talking to the virtual players is always better than punishing the whole group for something.
So
it is, but what's happened was, and you guys watch chat, you see what happens is sometimes AF and I get put into a box because we get cornered to the point of, well, what if this? Well, what if this? What if this? We can't keep doing that. The what ifs are what are causing all these. So again, you're old enough to be here. You're old enough to know right from wrong, what is appropriate and not appropriate. If you're not sure if it's appropriate, don't use it. That is our rule of thumb. A few of you can say we have told you that a million times. If you question it, just don't do it. The F word.
If you have to ask us, is this okay? Just don't.
Well, Blue. I'm with this rule revision. Like, say if I said like, "Oh crap, I spilled milk on my keyboard," but crap was another word.
That would be appropriate. That would be fine.
Like text chat, would that be okay?
But just saying crap does not tell us what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
See the difference?
When in doubt, don't say it.
When in doubt,
if
you can literally sit there right now and say, "Oh crap, I spilled," then you could say that in the text.
And we're gonna go, "Oh no," or "Is it okay?" Like we're gonna react with you. But if you're just yelling crap, we have no clue as to why you're upset. We know you're upset. We don't know why. And then if you guys never come back and fill in why, then to us it just looks like spamming cuss words. So now I want to specifically talk about the F word. The F word has been asked multiple times. Can we not? Is it classified under mild swearing? No, it's not. But if it's again, and I prefer this word not to make it onto Discord at all if possible, because it can be taken offensive to some people. If you're in a call, and I think Willow had the best example ever of how that happened. Something happened, and it was an extreme reaction, and it was screamed in extreme reaction, and it was actually one of the funniest things that was ever said in ACO. It did have the F word involved. Now, is he going to be banned or punished for it? No. Again, it was reactionary. Those have to be very, very few and far between. If that word becomes a common word that you said, like a few of you ended up doing before the rule change, that again comes down to, do we talk to the player about, hey, you're excessively using a word that is very much in the gray area, or do we just take the word out completely? Because that's what we ended up doing, was taking the word out completely. Do you guys feel that this could be an appropriate thing where it's only used very minimal and only in extreme situations? And if it's used more than that, we do talk to the player about it and not take everything away? Is that what you guys would like?
I think if you do that, that would be good. But if it keeps being a problem, you can always take it away again.
Well,
and that's
okay.
where we're at right now is
So here's something to consider. If you guys say we deal with the person individually and one person is being a problem, then you all collectively are agreeing that, okay, so basically right now, to deal with it, we say no more swearing for everybody. And that way everybody continues playing and everybody continues talking because we're all being treated equally. If we decide we deal with it individually and somebody does abuse it and they're swearing and stuff and we have to deal with that person individually, that means you are all giving us the authority, and we're pretty much bound to now start muting people. We're going to have to start handing down some punishments for this, because now we can't just say everybody stop. We have to deal with this one person.
but honestly, I feel
that's it's still better than saying the entire server can't swear.
Well, and it puts responsibility back on the person that is breaking the rule, and that's where I think, again, this is where ACO thrives, is life lessons. And if we're talking to you because you're saying this word when it's not used correctly and you're saying it too frequently and you know you're breaking the rule because we've made it very clear now, this is what we're doing, then we might be helping you in the end, because you might be doing the same thing at work and about to get fired, or doing the same thing at school and about to get suspended. So I feel like going to the individual is a better technique, because then it's us. If we just say, okay, you guys last swearing, I can tell you it was roughly 2 players that really got it taken away. Those 2 players may have no clue it was them. So how are we helping them? All they see is we took it away. They don't know it was them. We never gave them that opportunity to make changes. And I think that's what ACO is about, is being there for each other, teaching each other, guiding each other through life. And we can't do that if we generalize everything. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Agree.
Hello to whoever joined back as
Hello
well.
to whoever joined.
Yeah.
So do you have any
Also-
other comments on that?
On that note, sorry, I know you can say comments, but on that note, while you're all here, keep in mind that if one of those 2 people or anybody does start start swearing and breaking out and all this sort of stuff, we have to talk to that person. If you get muted, if we do have to put you into private, if we have to approach you about this thing that you did wrong, this is still Ocraft, just like AC, and we are talking to you not because we're angry, not because you're going to get banned, not because you're in trouble, quote unquote trouble. It's because now we got to talk to you and help you through this and find a better way.
Which is how the approach, for those of you that have had to talk, all know that is my approach. I always say, first off, you're not in trouble. Hamad, in multiple of our conversations, am I in trouble? No, I just want to talk to you about this. I want to talk to you about this because I'm trying to help you. And that's what we're about, is helping each other.
It's always been the Outcraft way.
It's always been the Outcraft way. So, okay, so we're not trying to talk about the strike system. Sorry. Okay, so cussing,
yes,
we're all in agreement. You guys have a little more freedom. Show the responsibility that goes with that freedom. Okay, that's what I'm asking of you.
Common sense again.
Common sense.
Again, goes back to it. So
respect each other. Somebody says they don't want to hear that sort of stuff, then try and cut down on it. Try and respect that person when they're in there and not say it.
And Abby, to answer your question, yes, we are going to allow it back in as long as it's 100% used correctly. It cannot be at a player. That's one thing I really want to stress to you guys. If you say a cuss word that's geared towards a player, you will be instantly muted and most likely jailed. And if it continues to happen, you'll be banned, because that then is now bullying. And we are a 0 tolerance server for that. It will not happen on my watch or AF's watch, both of our watch. It will not happen. That's something I don't tolerate. So if you're swearing and it's at somebody, just know you will be instantly muted. You have already learned that.
I'm sorry to break in, but Jake brought up something I was wondering about. Can we have the /ignore command?
We don't have it?
No.
Okay.
Something that I suppose everybody can decide on together.
You mean as far as in game?
Like, yeah, ignoring somebody. Like on Outcraft, you can /ignore. But I
like
I don't
90% of our chat is in voice.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary.
So I don't really, I don't see. I'm gonna have to say my vote on that would be no, because again, we are the more mature. We don't have to be like la la la, I can't hear you, because you guys are becoming adults, or some of you are adults.
You don't have ignore at your job. You don't have that command at your job.
Exactly. In life, you don't have that command when you're sitting in class with the person next to you. But keep in mind, you have the option to mute people in voice, and I know many of you do it regularly. So I don't quite understand why you would need it in chat, because so little of what we do is in chat. Because we are very much a talking server, or voice chat. I should say a voice chat server. So if you guys want to vote on it, we can. But my recommendation is not. Let's learn to practice some patience, because in life, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to listen to a coworker, or a kid next to you in school, or your great aunt who won't stop talking about something you don't want to hear.
Okay, then.
There's lots of Karens out there.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, Hope.
What is Karen? I keep hearing about
Oh,
it.
it's just
She's an entitled mom.
Yeah.
I have
Go ahead, Hope.
them.
You guys let Hope talk, please.
Okay.
Go ahead, Hope.
I have a question for AF concerning the server in general.
Yeah.
The server ACO is 100%, well, 99.9% vanilla.
Yeah.
Because we have like commands and such.
Just a few, yeah.
A few.
Yeah. So my question is, for those that, for example, like those that use like the mod, like the waypoint mod on AC, you cannot use that on ACO, correct?
Well, there's some mini maps that give you a way. Like there's no teleporting, there's no set home thing, no commands for that. But if you have a mini map that sets waypoints, you won't be able to teleport to those, because that just won't work. But you can set waypoints if you want to remember where locations are in your mod.
You can use mini maps and journey map. I think
Yeah.
voxel map. Just last night, Alyssa died, and she got back to her stuff because she had her map up, or she had the
Yeah,
mini map.
and it tells you where your death point is. Yeah, but the teleport option of those maps won't work, because there's no commands to do that in the server.
Okay. I was kind of curious about that, because just kind of out of curiosity. So, all right. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Continue on.
Okay, so we good with cussing? You guys feel like you've all been?
Yes.
Sounds
you guys
good to me.
all are, okay, everyone understand from here on out? We're going to be seriously talking to the player and not the whole group.
Well,
You guys all
Blue.
agreeing with that in general?
Yeah.
You all accept responsibility for that by making that decision together.
Well, Blue, like sometimes I'm with a friend, I'm joking around, I'm like, oh, you piece of crap, did you really need to do that? Like in a joking mood, like whenever we're doing
because you just called him a swear.
No.
Okay.
What happened the last time you called a player name, Mod?
Not good.
Okay, but do we want to do that again?
No.
Okay, so Telly, go ahead. Telly had something he wanted to say. And if you don't, it's okay if you do not want a voice. You can type it. We can just wait and read it. Can we have split
Excuse me,
chat?
Blue.
No split chat.
No split chat.
Excuse me.
All right. Yes. Did you have a question, DJ? A specific question?
No. I totally agree with all this. Thumbs up to you guys.
Awesome. Okay, we have a few more little areas to talk about. So
Thumbs up to you guys. We're just talking stuff. You guys are deciding.
we're bringing it to you as suggestions, because we want to see ACO shift a little bit back to how it was.
But isn't split chat meant to help people who have poor eyesight?
It is. It's just that it has all the stuff. It has all the chat channels. It has this stuff, and yeah, it'd be a task.
Yeah,
it'd be a task to just have that one thing stripped out of it and added in.
Yeah.
Certainly, maybe. I mean, I could certainly talk to MMPF and see if we can work on something, because that could be something that all servers could use. So maybe in the future, but for right now, no.
But Blue loves when we call it MMPF.
Yes, thank you for saying
Yes,
MMPF.
MMPF.
I appreciate that. Okay, so let's move along. We're doing really great, guys. Like, we knocked out a lot of this. Just a couple more things I wanted to talk about is I've got two more very particular things. One is mob cap, real quick. A few of you have noticed that we did end up having to lower the mob cap a little bit. Honestly, we didn't lower it a lot. We just lowered it a little bit, but that little bit that we changed has, as you guys seen, made a difference with farms. Let me just explain really quick why we did it. Wait, hold on, Dusty. Let me explain why. So as you guys saw the last week or so, our TPS has been struggling a little bit. We went and AF and I have been, tackling it each time it happens, seeing where it's at, what's going on. A lot of you now have villagers. not just 1 or 2 villagers, but like actual communities taking over villages. So there's a lot of villagers. If you have animals on top of villagers, on top of the massive amount of mobs that are spawning underneath bases, that's giving your little area in the range of 300 entities. And you do
Sorry
that.
about that.
No, it's not just you.
It wasn't your
just
fault,
you.
yeah.
It wasn't your
Well,
fault. It's
actually,
not
one
just
time
you.
it was.
One
Well,
time, but
okay,
it's
you had a-
been.
But that's the
it's
that's
happened
the
when you're
thing,
not
right?
on.
Like if
Yeah.
you have a lot of chickens, for example,
Yeah,
a lot of
okay.
a lot of chickens is one thing, but when I go into spectator mode and dip down just below the surface and I see like 80 mobs in the caves below, that's a
Yeah,
big problem.
Exactly. So it's not just, and it wasn't just you. If you've been on by yourself, it might have we've never known. But because
I have
hold on, Dusty, let us finish this part and then we can all discuss it, okay? So if we have our server's growing. We at any given time easily have 10 to 15 players on at a time. They're all spread out. People are exploring, they're loading new chunks, some are at farms, some are at various places in their own base that might have a lot of entities. It's putting a strain on the server. We don't want to have to make rules as far as redstone related, meaning like hoppers, how many chickens you're allowed to have. Again, the nice thing about ACO is we don't have those rules, but at the same time we can't not have the rules and also have a very high mob count. So we have to bend a little bit. Which way do we want to bend? Do we want to bend on keeping the high mob count and putting limitations on what you can have? Or do we want to lower the mob count down to about where it was at, honestly, before we reset or before we updated, and then allow you to still, at this point in time, still have to be able to have the freedom of how many chickens you want, things like that. You guys kind of have to make a choice on this because it can't be both. Okay, Dusty, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, of how much, like, I haven't really noticed much of a change with farms, really. Like my Guardian farm is still actually faster than it was before the update. My Gold farm's faster. There's a lot of farms are still better.
I kind of agree. The change that we made was slight. We could actually change it more if we needed to, and probably wouldn't notice that much of a difference. But it's up to you guys. So
and as we said, I feel like we could. I don't know what your say is on this, but my say would be treat it the same way we're treating like the swearing and the PvP thing. Just if there's lag, just investigate it. And if somebody has a lot of mobs or a lot of redstone or whatever, can we just deal with that later?
Exactly, and that's what I'm actually proposing to you guys. Now, at the same time, that doesn't mean you can have a farm that has 600 chickens and 600 cows and all this, because that will single-handedly bring down the server. So
why does he keep coming back to chickens?
That was just the most recent. Yeah, there was
You're not
other
the only one with
ones.
chickens. There's been
Yeah.
3 different places that have had chickens. So
What, as big as my
There's-
chicken
and there's
farm?
been fish, there's been cows, there's been chickens. So you're not the
we've had
only one.
villagers are an issue.
Villagers have been an issue.
Villagers have been an issue. So again,
it's
it's
me.
going to come down to no. It's going to
No.
come down to personal responsibility. If you again, don't be that guy. Don't be the one that knows you have multiple. If you need to have multiple farms, have different locations that you have chickens over here and you have your villagers over here. Split it up. That would help out if you wanted to still keep having massive amounts of things. Just split it up a little bit.
Permission to speak?
Hold on 1 second.
Doesn't that actually help? Not like just basically if farms or whatever, if they're not loaded, the server is not processing them at all. Correct.
Yeah, if you're not at your farm, like if you're not at your farm, those animals are not loaded. They don't add anything to TPS. But that's the problem is, 10 people will be playing along nicely and everything will be going great, and then person signs in at their base and they have 400 mobs of some sort, and everybody all gets TPS drop.
Right, exactly. So yeah, so if you want to have, let's say for instance, and Ben, I'm only using you as an example because it just happened. So and you seem to be a really good sport about it. So let's say Ben has villagers because he moved into a village. He has villagers, but he also has animals. So again, maybe have a separate portal for your animal side. Keep your villagers. This is your villagers. Yeah, and you don't have to. This is again just a suggestion, just to help try to even everything out a little bit. And then again, and it's hard, like for instance, the aquarium, the fishes, that's a hard one because you might have 100 fishes and it doesn't look like very many at all because you have a huge aquarium. You don't realize that one little fish is still the equivalent as an entity, as a cow. It's harder to not notice those things, but you just have to really, really try and notice. You have to really just pay attention to what you have and keep an idea of how many entities are in your little chunk. Jake, did you have something to say? Let Jake talk really quick.
Yeah, so back to the topic on the mob cap for farms.
Okay.
I noticed that when we lowered it before, like that one time when the TPS was getting really bad, I noticed that like a day, I noticed that when I went to the Ender farm,
Yeah, I'll sleep.
I noticed that the Ender farm didn't change for me, but I also heard that it changed for others. But it never really changed when I was there before.
Well, keep in mind there's other variables involved too. If there's as many people on as there is now, and we're all at different places, then the mob cap spreads out. So you'll end up with less stuff happening at one spot. So, I mean, there's the mob count, which will affect the farms, but then there's also a number of players on and what the players are doing. So some people will see bigger differences than others.
Lou, what about server RAM? You said something about that the other day.
About what?
More server RAM? We could add more server RAM, but
we can look at that if we need to. Right now, we need to try to fix the problem internally first.
Ultimately, if the TPS drops and we sign on and we go right to one spot and we can say, "Oh, that's the problem," then RAM is not.
Then we fix the problem. Exactly. Yeah. If we go on and we cannot locate it because of the fact that we do have so many players on, then that's when we need to look at it. So actually, this kind of alludes into one thing I want to tell you guys, and I meant to say it in the beginning is we had 9 new players last month. 9. That's exciting. That is huge growth. We are growing by the day. And the way servers typically do grow is the first 50 are slower to get. Once you get 50, it tends to go pretty fast. And we are on a path of growing, continuing to grow. We have 2 more players joining at the end of the month. And players keep coming every day. They just come out of, sometimes we don't know where they come from. They're just I mean, they're obviously
a big portion of the whitelist applications lately have been over 15s.
Yeah. So we need to keep being ready to grow, but I don't want to have to install I don't want to have to implement rules because we might grow. So let's just try to take responsibilities of our own bases and what we have and try to keep everything as evenly on an even playing field as possible for everybody right now so that we don't have to make rules as we grow. Let's just keep what makes ACO the charm of ACO continue to be that, and then just accommodate new players as they come in. Speaking of, are you all comfortable with giving a new player tour? Is there anyone that just really would not feel comfortable? Because I'm trying to, when we do get a new player, I'm trying to ask around to see if different players would like to give those tours. Is there anyone you're comfortable with it? Most of you seem to be comfortable. If you're not and you would love that opportunity, let me know or let AF know, and we can privately go into private chat with you and go over exactly what we say, things like that. It'd be great if everybody that joined would have anyone that's available to be able to talk to them. Yeah. I'm on a lot. AF's always watching, so between the 2 of us, we know they're there. It's just sometimes we're not necessarily able to hop on. I have reached out to a few of you saying, "Hey, can you give a tour? Can you give a tour?" But it'd be great if you could all do that.
But not all at once. Not all at once.
Not all at once. Yeah.
Yes.
We don't want people. Yeah, we don't want people fighting over giving somebody.
And just so you guys all are aware, the link now for Discord, I know it got brought up, but in case you don't know, the Discord link only is given out to subscribing players, not on their free trial day. Which I know it's frustrating because it's so much easier to give a tour on voice. I agree 100%, but not everybody comes back. We have 80% do.
Yeah. You've noticed we've cut everybody out of the active. Anybody who's not active in the Discord on the server is no longer active in the Discord. They've been cut out and they can come back, but we don't want people joining signing on, saying this place looks nice. Can I have the Discord link? And then signing on to Discord and then never ever coming back, but always being in the voice chats.
Always being in voice. Yeah, exactly. And that has happened in the past. And we have worked hard to clean that up. Discord is very clean right now. So we it's important that doesn't happen to the degree that no longer the link that is in the forums works. The link has to be given out, be either Autism Father or myself, and we give them a one-time link.
They can mod request it if we're not on, or they can ask, or you guys can contact us or whatever. But
somebody let us, and somebody will let us know. Has to come from us, and it's a one-time link. So you won't, if you guys do for whatever reason rage quit, or you're just whatever reason you decide to leave Discord, and you come back, just know same thing. Do a mod recon game, and we'll get you a new link. It's a one-time use link.
Which means no more alts, no more inviting friends, all that sort of stuff.
Can I bring up the fact that there's 2 pizzas in Discord?
Yeah, I need to figure. Next time he's on. I just haven't seen him. I need to ask him which one. He got locked out of his one account and was
so one of them
deleted.
is his main one.
One of his is his main one, and the other one is his backup.
The other one,
he has to pick.
I don't think he even used the other one, but we just don't know which is which because he's never on.
Exactly. I need to ask him next time I see him. There used to be 2 blues. Yeah, a long time ago. I had the same thing. I got locked out of one of them. That's gone though. So
of course.
Yeah. All right. So the only other, let me talk about one more thing. This is one you guys have been wanting to talk about: streaming.
Yeah. Oh yes.
So this is again. It comes to autism. Talk about it, and we decided you guys are mature enough to have a streaming channel.
Yes.
But hold on. There's going to be. This is one area that we do have to set quite a few limits with, and to start with, we're going to create a channel for it. And the streaming will have to take place in that channel and that channel only. You can't stream while you're in Gen or any of the other channels. It has to be in that channel. With that, we are going to be very specific about what can be streamed. No more streaming. There's not going to be streaming of somebody sitting at their desk just playing Minecraft. It has to be streaming of a game.
We have to see the game you're playing. That's it.
Exactly. It needs to be your screen, and it needs to be what it is that you're playing. Desktops do not need to be shown. If it's like Discord is with their other stuff, you can actually pick what's shown, and you need to stream only what is the game you're streaming.
No YouTube videos, no webcams, no music.
No webcams.
It's going to be the game you play because this is a gaming Discord. You don't have. It doesn't have to be Minecraft.
It doesn't have to be Minecraft, but it does have to be teen related. It cannot be rated for.
You have to keep in mind, people are joining this Discord on the day they turn 15, so they should not be seeing rated M for mature games if they pop into the Discord.
Blue. What if I'm working on like a Photoshop thing, but Photoshop the thing, but okay.
Nope.
No graphic design.
You don't ask questions when we literally just said it has to be streaming games only.
Okay.
And not only games, it has to be games that are appropriate for 15-year-olds because
so no
that's
programming
the
either.
Age.
Right.
What?
Excuse me.
Programming, no.
What do you mean programming?
I ought to ask.
Are you talking about the programming channel?
No, just stream working on programming.
No, we're not gonna. We're not gonna watch you.
It's too hard for us to keep track of what is done. And again, this is what we're starting at. If you guys do this correctly, and at the next meeting or the meeting after, you say, you know what, I'd really like to see this be available. Bring it to us, and we'll look at it. But to start with, we're going to do this. If we now here comes the hard part. If you stream something that is not appropriate, meaning a game that's not appropriate, or we see that you're streaming something that is showing a background that is not appropriate, you will be removed. You will have a role added to you that will not allow you to stream. And that is for the safety of everyone. It's not because you think you're a bad person. It's just it's a safety concern for us, and also for yourself. If you have, let's say you have your banking step up on your desktop, and you're trying to stream while you're playing Minecraft, and I can see your banking information, that's not okay. If you're looking at something that is more adult, not appropriate, and that's in your background, that is not okay. Even bedrooms, things like that, we shouldn't be really seeing that stuff. That's your personal stuff. That's not okay for ACO.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions? Yes.
What about mobile games? I know Discord and Samsung did something, I think.
Okay, iKiller, yeah. Show us the game you're playing. Okay, DJ, go.
DJ, go ahead.
So is Beat Saber okay?
Beat Saber is okay. No, here,
I'm looking forward to watching that, DJ.
Yeah, actually, I'm too a little bit. No, here's one thing. And I can already see this might be a problem. do not advertise in Gen. You can say, hey guys, I'm going to go over to the streaming channel and I'm going to play this. Sometimes people will join and watch, sometimes they won't. You have to keep in mind, often when we're on ACO voice, it's because we are working together on ACO or we're doing our own projects. So feelings can't get hurt if you're streaming and nobody's watching. I just want you guys to know that right up front, because there are going to be times when people can watch and there's going to be times when people can't watch. If multiple players are streaming at once, so let's say Dusty and Abby are both streaming at the same time in that channel, and you have 2 or 3 people in there watching, they might take turns. Don't have your feelings hurt if somebody's watching Minecraft but they're not wanting to watch No Man's Sky. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Blue.
Yeah.
What
It's really
about
important you understand this, because I don't want feelings hurt.
what about other servers like
No.
Hypixel? Are we allowed to stream that?
My first thought on it is no, but we'll see.
You're shooting at me.
Okay, but what about single player?
It's actually something we haven't talked about, so I really don't.
Single player for sure.
Single player for sure. Here's part of the problem. If you're on another Minecraft server and there's chat going, it could be inappropriate chat. Now, of course, Hypixel's not going to be, but it could be inappropriate chat.
It could still be.
Able to watch.
I've seen people say racist or derogatory things or whatever in
On
the chat
Hypixel?
there. Yeah, so
if
it's
we
possible.
can't control
And
it, then my instinct is to say no. It's just say no.
Yeah, I just like the ping for voice chat. I just like that role in Blue. Would I be able to I use a server for command blocks and stuff, and sometimes I have someone hop on to help me out with it. Would that be okay to stream? Like if it's not like a public server?
No, because I'm
not your
because
server.
it's not your because
not
they can
our
talk
server.
in a chat and we can watch that, and it can be something extremely inappropriate, and then you're gonna lose your ability to ever stream again.
Okay, so only private, only one person server.
Single player.
Single player
on
or other
ACO,
games.
or
Yeah, and
Warcraft or other
again, if you
games.
guys want to nitpick this to death, we just won't have it.
Well, Blue,
This
I'm
is
not trying
kinda
to
what
nitpick it.
But you are.
I'm not trying to nitpick Blue. Hear me out. I'm not trying to nitpick it, but some of the things like when I'm building, I use my own server for the plugin for Word Edit. Would I not be allowed to do that if I have no one else on?
Mod Killer, what happened just recently to land you in that jail doing something with somebody else? So if you're on your other server and you're playing with some other person and that person signs on with a skin that they think you're going to find funny and all the viewers on ACO see it.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
good.
And,
Not
and
good.
if you're already on 2 strikes, is this something you want a chance right now?
No, I'm just.
Okay.
All
right.
So
Listen to me. Just not stop for just a second. The rule is just listen to me, because there's really no other questions that need to go with it. The rule is, yes, you can stream. Yes, it has to be a teen-related game. No, you cannot be on other servers streaming because we can't predict what the other players will say. That should answer your questions. Okay.
Okay.
Let's not. Nope.
I'm just curious how to use Word Edit.
Okay, well, we're not
What
discussing
did I
World
miss?
Edit right now.
oh my gosh.
Not at all related. Okay.
So moving on, we will be asking all of you too to respect each other, but also, I mean, you guys, Blue's going to be in general talk a lot, and I am often usually very busy. So you guys are going to be reporting to us if you see or hear anything that's in those streams that's not appropriate.
Right.
So we need you to help take care of ACO as much as
Exactly.
anybody.
Take ownership of it. It's your server. Take ownership of it. Do what's right. I can, just so you know, when you did stream the other day, Mod, I was able to just hover my mouse over and see what you were streaming.
Yeah.
Right.
So
but we can't.
just because
But we can't
we're
hear
not on
what
the
you
channel
say.
doesn't mean that we can't see what you're streaming.
Right. We're going to check often, but we can't hear what's being said and things. So if anybody's watching in that channel and something bad does happen, inappropriate or whatever, then it needs to be reported.
Exactly. Okay, so we're good on streaming. Everybody is good. They want to stream. They want this ability.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Thumbs up.
All right.
Great.
So now this kind of ties into channels, and this is one of the last things.
Oh, I had something else about streaming.
Can it wait till after the meeting then?
It's sort of important. I'm wondering, I want streaming at the bottom, since I feel that would get the stop community from viewing. I would like streaming channel above general 1 if possible.
No. Okay, moving on.
Okay.
I just have something I really want to get
Mhm.
in.
Okay, go for it, Dusty.
If for whatever reason, like sometimes I kind of have to screen share with some players, and if I ever have to do something that's not allowed, it's fine if we just do it in our own DM, but we're just responsible for whatever we do.
Well, and this is the whole idea, is to get you guys out of the DMs so that you are safe, so that it is in a controlled environment.
But sometimes me and Coolgood have to go on my own server so that we can work through
Okay.
That's
So,
Mod,
go. You guys can go and do that.
Remember what the rule is.
That's fine.
The rule isn't that you can't do it. It's the rule is not to talk about doing it. It's very, very specific, and that kind of goes into the whole, like Iota brought up, the pinging. The pinging lately has been out of control. Yes, we know it's. Hold on, wait, stop. We know it's tied to a couple particular players, and those particular players have been talked to. But if you see something, you don't have to jump all over them. We are handling it. Trust me, it's equally as frustrating to us as it is for you guys to see. We are working on it, and some players are newer to ACO. They don't necessarily know how the rules work. They're learning. We just have to be a little bit patient, okay?
Also, this is still an autism server, so some people that's just how the autism affects them. They have a compulsion, and
working with autistic kids, the average autistic kid requires 1,000 times of doing something before it becomes repetition. 1,000. So a normal person, 10. So I hate to use the word normal. Those neurotypical people, them, 10. So it might take a little bit. So you guys just try to exercise a little patience. We do know we're working on it. It's something that we are working on. But I do hear you. I see your messages. I'm hearing you. We just heard you, but you're an adult, so you can make your own choices. I'm not quite sure what that's in reference to, Iota. Okay, so one more quick thing before we talk. Well, you know what? Let's just finish the channel talk since we're here, and then there's only one more thing, and then we can go kill some stuff. Channels. You guys, the voice channels, Discord, ACO Discord is yours. Some of the channels you've noticed, programming went away. Rest in peace, programming.
Gone but not forgotten.
Gone but not forgotten. We will miss you. Private 2 was added, and we had a big group in the other day talking about Private 2 and asking, do we want Private 2 to be 3 people or 2 people? The consensus that day was
that?
the consensus was let's do 2. 3 can always be added. If 2 or 3 of you would like to talk together, say, hey, can somebody open up Private 1 or Private 2 to 3 or 4 people? Absolutely. But at the same time, if you're having a very heart-to-heart talk with someone, maybe you don't want somebody popping in. When I'm on my laptop, I cannot hear when people enter a call, especially if I'm on a different screen like my actual chat or game.
It's coming up next, Nick.
I can see. Yep. I can see. I can see keeping it at 2. I understood what your guys' concerns on it, but do you guys want? How do you feel about Private 1 and Private 2? Do you guys feel like one of those channels should be raised to 3, or do you want to keep it at 2 so that nobody can hop in if you're having a talk?
2.
Well,
Let's leave it at
should
2.
be kept as 2 because if it's normally the admins who would need to join.
Admins can always join.
They can always, precisely. They can override it. So,
well, and no, you guys, all you have to do is ping, like admin, just ping us and say, can somebody increase Private 1 to 3 people, please? And we'll do that, and then we can change it back. It's no big deal. We can do it in a matter of seconds.
May I suggest? May I
Yes,
suggest that at least the only reason, and this is just me, I'm sure I don't know if anybody else would agree to this, but the only reason I would see that we would ever have to put private chat into 3 people would be for the admin to come in and settle
help mediate.
Help mediate.
Yeah, help mediate.
It's super rare, but there are going to be times where there'll be 3 people who want to have a private conversation. Just
exactly, and that's okay. And another option we have, and this is what I really wanted to bring up to you guys, we have a lot of channels, right? We have general 1, 2, 3, recording, events, chat 1, 2, 3, and then the privates. We have the gaming channel, which is another thing you guys can start utilizing, playing other games. But let's say events 1, 2, 3. What do you guys feel about changing? We've rarely, if ever, used those.
Really, we should actually be in one of those.
Technically, we should, but we're all in Gen. So what if we were to change those to? What would you guys like to have? Maybe 1 or 2 small group channels. where
Yeah.
it is a limit of 5.
So for
Yeah.
people who have been on Patreon Discord, you'll be
Yes.
aware we can set it to a limit of like 5 people. So some of these people who are in right now are muted, and it's not because they can't talk or because they don't have a mic or whatever. It's because it's just so overwhelming with so many people and so forth. So sometimes it helps to start out with a smaller group of like 5 people in just one little channel. And it's gone over very well on Patreon, so we could certainly have a channel or two like that here.
What I was
But it's up
thinking,
to you guys.
what I was
So
still
it looked like
thinking,
this.
Yeah, there you go. There's one.
Blue. Blue.
Excuse me?
Blue.
Yes, go ahead and take your turn.
I was thinking that get rid of the event channels. Then I feel the small group sort of excludes people in a way.
No, it doesn't,
no.
because because sometimes if you want, for instance, how many times has it happened that you've needed to talk to Dusty about a build and you guys hop into Gen 2 or something and then a bunch of people jump and follow and they continue their conversations that were in 1 because they don't want to be alone, but yet
Over
they're
15
the
and
ones
up server.
Right, but
Yeah.
again, listen to what I said. There's some people, even on a 15 up server, who don't like a large crowd to talk to, and they just want to keep it small and quiet. Which will be, I know, Nikki, we're coming to yours. But
Yep,
they
Nick,
just
yours
want
is next.
they want a smaller group to talk to, and they don't want to. And if other people come along and they say, "Guys, I want to join in," then you move to one of the general channels, or you can say, "I'm sorry, I just can't handle it right now, but maybe in a bit." But it gives you options because it's not excluding someone so long as we still have all the other channels where everybody can talk.
Exactly.
But
Because it's not exclusion. It's
what I was
being
sort of
in an
thinking
appropriate
is
it's a
what I was sort of
combination, it's not
thinking
exclusion.
is basically have one small group channel, and then the other 2 events channel, general 4 and 5, since the ACO is growing.
We have 3 general channels that we rarely use 3 as it is. I don't think
Yeah, let's add channels as we need them, not a whole bunch of channels.
Exactly. Now, Nick had what I felt was a terrific suggestion the other day, and that is a chill channel. The chill channel would be a quiet channel. It's chill vibes. It's no coming in and talking about your day at work or what happened at school or being excited or hyper. It's chill.
You don't even have to talk at all.
You don't even have to talk.
And if you do talk, it'll be quiet and mellow and
Exactly. It's
playing
low,
Bob Marley.
It's low key. It's chill. It's
chill.
Nothing exciting. Nothing detrimental is happening.
Talk about the
There's
ocean.
no coming in. Basically, there's no coming in and hi. None of that.
We chillin'.
You guys, you're starting to talk a lot lately. Shh. Remember, wait till we ask. It's a channel that we are able to literally just all be in together, so we're not alone, but we're playing a game, but nobody's really talking. Doesn't mean you can't talk. If you talk,
No,
it's
Joey.
just chill.
No.
But having
ASMR.
having a channel like that again comes with responsibilities. Everybody being 15 and older, that we don't want to hear complaints about somebody constantly coming in and yelling and screaming and doing whatever to annoy people.
Exactly. And this is a channel that will be monitored. Make sure that it is not, because it does have a very valid purpose. There's times I have not joined chat because my anxiety is high and I just can't be in certain chats. It doesn't mean I wouldn't love to have a chill channel. If I could be in a chill channel and just be with you guys, but we just relax, talk soft, and just don't talk a lot, I'm good with that. And I think it's a great idea. Do you guys like this idea for a channel?
Yeah.
I think a chill channel will be like nice and
Do we want to add a user limit? Not right now. Music bots, we have so many people with such different eclectic tastes. We're trying to prevent.
Music gets very vulgar and bad.
Yeah, we all know
very
my
quickly,
music is just
so
vulgar.
yeah.
Just kidding.
Bieber.
Do we want a user guys, for a second, let's focus on the chill channel. Do we want a user limit on the chill channel? Like no
I
more
would
than
say
10, or do you guys think we can have a big group in there and just chill?
I would like to try it without a limit first and see if that works.
What do you guys think? Agreed?
Yeah, I would say it's a good idea.
There it is.
Also, keep in mind, since we are bringing this up, a lot of these things, including the mob count, including channels, stuff, is not necessarily permanent. These are all things that we can talk about at the next meeting, all things that we can try for a while and see how it make changes later.
And that's kind of, and again, this is we're the admins. AF is obviously the server owner, but this is your ACO and it's your ACO. So how can we help you have the best experience in ACO? And that's why we are taking these suggestions that have come in, these concerns that have come in, and we're having this meeting today to rectify that stuff. So now that's kind of the last of the things I want to talk about, other than Hitman. Ben X.
Ben X has been waiting patiently for this moment.
Yep, Ben X.
Okay.
Congratulations on Hitman. There's actually a very specific sword we were going to give out with Hitman. I don't have it right now, but I will get it to you. We are going to start having a Hitman wall as well. It's going to be Hitman is, for those of you that don't know what Hitman is, it's a game that's been played on ACO since the beginning of ACO. And it's basically an assassin's game. You're given a name, and that's your target. Somebody has your name. It's a fun game. This last time, honestly, was a mess. We are rectifying that.
It's going to grow and evolve and get better.
Easiest Hitman winner ever. Yeah, Next, you get a very specific award just for that alone.
But it's a learning process, and we've already got ideas for the next one.
Excuse me.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on, DJ, 1 second, okay?
Okay.
So anyway, so Ben X, congratulations. George was his opponent. George has not been back on server.
No,
so-
he has actually, and he
Well,
told me not. He told me not to kill him because he said he was already disqualified because of it.
Yeah,
Okay,
he had
well
lost too much time.
then it's done. So yes, you did get the easiest / lazy ever with Hitman, but it's still a win. So congratulations on that.
Yeah.
And some of the players, that was it was a mess, but at the same time, some of the best battles I've
some
ever
exciting fights.
Yeah, Riley and Ragnar's was a 30-minute intense. I believe there's some video of it. If you guys go back far enough, you'll see that. The next Hitman's going to be done differently. It's going to be
You're not going to win that way.
It's going to be yeah. We've got some changes. Mr. Abby Mage offered to help with that, so we're going to be running that game a little bit differently next time, and we'll let you know.
And then there was me to just kill an AFK player.
You're you're AFK. Also, with Hitman, just since we're talking about it, and I'll definitely bring this up next time we're ready to play it, which I think we were talking about doing it quarterly. One thing is if you're going to participate, you participate. None of this I want to play, but then you just never sign on, because that's kind of part of the mess that turned into this one. So we will have some very specific rules that go with the next one. Okay, so congratulations, Ben. I have a sword for you. I'm sorry I don't have it on me, but I do have some.
Sometimes people can't help not being around.
Well,
sometimes
and that's okay. You just choose not to play it.
Yeah, that's fair enough, but
you
it's
sit
still
out
not fair.
that round.
It's kind of you guys will have noticed the entire player of the month is just respecting each other. We're going back to getting stuff, just working like without laws, without rules, without guidelines, without us having to be on top of everything, and you guys just respecting each other and playing and having fun.
Yeah. Okay. Very, very last thing I want to talk about, and then we'll head over to the end and blow some stuff up and kill each other, kill some mobs. Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, DJ. You had a question?
I have never done Hitman on here before, so I may need some help.
There's a bunch that have not, and it's explained
we have
every
a
single
lot of new
time.
players.
And
Yeah, when we're ready to play it again, we have an actual. So when we're ready to play it again, we will start making announcements, and we will go over the exact rules, because we are. Hold on,
especially since it changes a little bit each time.
Exactly. We can't even go over it right now because we don't even know the exact yet. So we're changing it.
It's just so that I can know.
Oh, okay, Raven. Willow actually brought up a good suggestion too regarding channels. This isn't a voice channel, but we do have the autism channel, which is where you talk about very autism specific related things, meltdowns, anxiety. The very first post was mine talking about I was literally in a mall bawling my eyes out. I was hiding in a bathroom because I was overwhelmed and I had a meltdown. And right in the middle of Spencer's, Riley will tell you, I had to go. And it's a great channel that we can relate to each other. We can offer each other advice and support. But that
I love
is very
Riley's sympathy there.
yes, Riley. Yeah. But at the same time, it's very, very autism related. I want to leave that channel as autism related.
But autism autism is not our only problem.
Exactly, but sometimes we do have other things that come up. Willow did suggest having a channel where it can be almost like a social emotional channel where we can talk about other things that are going on, things that are not specifically autism related, but also concerns. And if you guys would like to see this happen, let's come up with the theme of the channel and what we want to name it. Willow, did you want to talk about it specifically? Hold on 1 second, Mud. Let's give Willow a chance to. Oh, there you are. Hi.
Hey, yeah. The idea that I presented was to not just have it be serious concerns and stuff, but also have it just strong emotions, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like
venting,
a rant rave,
ranting,
like a rant
raving,
rave
venting,
kind of
and
channel.
Yeah, just whether it's rage or extreme joy or sadness.
and I remember one of your key points, which is important for this channel if we do it, is that there's no judging, there's no coming in and telling people what they're doing right or wrong or any of that stuff. It's no judgment. It's just somebody to get whatever they have off their chest.
It's like a rant rave channel. I've seen that on other places where you can rant about something, but you can rave about something. Something is amazing. I'm so excited. And then rant,
like
I'm
that
so
name.
angry, or I'm really scared. I mean, it can be anything that is emotional or like you were saying, but it's tied to
I
that
like that
channel
name.
only. What's that?
We could call it emotional.
Blue.
I
What
like
about
that
growth
name
rate
for it.
percent? Growth rate
Rant rave?
percentages.
Rant and rave.
Yeah.
What did you have in mind, Willow?
Well, I just had spill your feelings, but
Spill Your
that's
Feelings. Rant
also
rave.
the name of
Spill
the
your
where-
feelings. I like that too. It's gonna be a text channel. It'll be broken up with little hyphens, but yeah.
I feel like Rant and Rave is a good name, or maybe something to that effect.
Yeah, spill your feelings is good, but it's kind of leans on the negative sign.
I like
and
emotional support.
I think it's
emotional support.
But
Yeah.
it's not always emotional support.
Yeah, it's not
Sometimes
always.
it's just extreme happiness, like Willow said.
Like Jake would be a good example. Super excited
or
about his
just
football game.
if there's something going on in your life that's getting you down. You just,
Right,
you know.
but there's also
it's not
things that are really
specifically
exciting.
autism related, right? It can be. It's more like life. It's like a life channel.
Life Channel. That's a great name.
Life Channel.
The life channel. So what
The Life Channel, where everything's good or everything's bad and there's nothing in between.
Yep.
So do you guys for this? You like the idea of creating this new
Yeah.
channel as an outlet?
Yes.
Well, it wouldn't be autism in life because we do have a
Yeah,
very
we have
specific
an
channel
autism
for
channel.
autism that we're leaving alone.
They'll be
We want to
separate.
keep that. We want to keep the. Okay, so you guys definitely want the channel. Let's come up with a name.
Sure.
So what do you
What will
guys
the name be?
out of the suggestions? Which ones do you guys like?
Type them into the chat, please, so we don't talk over top of each other.
So the suggestions: the life channel, rant rave, or spill your feelings.
Spill your guts.
The life. Okay, looks like everyone likes the life.
Life Channel.
Life.
Keep in mind too, while everybody's giving their suggestions, that this is a great suggestion, and we're open to more suggestions.
Yeah, exactly.
Although, keep in mind, we're not going to just add everything. Like, we're not going to take every single suggestion and go, okay, we'll add it, even though only one person would.
Yeah, we're not going to have like an in and out channel.
No. So, but we will take suggestions like.
Yeah, exactly. If it's something that's gonna if it's something that's gonna benefit the server and the majority want it, absolutely. Again, this is your Discord, your server. Let's make it a positive place for you and a place that you can feel accepted and supported and be able to do these things that you need to do. Okay, so Maud, did you have a specific question?
Okay, I have two things.
Okay.
Another project is going along very good.
We're not discussing that right now. What did you have?
Well,
another
I
thing?
mean, for the growth rates and when.
1 second.
And I'm not sure if we're going to discuss Atlantis revamp.
No, we're not discussing that at this meeting at all.
Okay.
So nope. This is a meeting. We have a very specific agenda.
Yeah, not a project meeting. No projects.
This meeting's long enough.
Yeah,
now.
it is, and we're pretty much done. The only thing I wanted to touch on at the very end is a few of you, including myself, have really bonded with some of the younger players on AC, almost like a big brother, big sister. And to the point that now I've had other people ask, hey, I want to be matched up with a kiddo. Talk to AF about it. And, if this is something you guys want to do, we can do it. I know Jake expressed interest in wanting to do that. It's not a requirement. It's just something in addition to anything else we're working on. If you guys would like to be matched up, let me know. AF is watching console over there almost 24 hours a day.
No, I'm not.
Well, he's on vacation right now. When
Normally
he's not
I
on
am.
vacation, he is watching it close to 18 hours a day. He can tell us who would be a good one to sign on and say hey to, because maybe that person doesn't necessarily get a lot of people wanting to play with them or build with them. I've got 2 kiddos that I work with that I love. I know Mr. Robbie Mage also has one. He's trying to steal one of mine away. But if it's something that you guys think would be fun and beneficial, and maybe No, creator's mine. If it's something you guys think you would like to do, let me know. It doesn't have to be a server thing. Like, we don't even have to talk about it. Just ping me. We can talk in private about it, and I can let you know maybe a player to kind of keep your eye on that might need a little bit of support. I think it's great that you guys even want to do this. AC is our, I know in the past we've called it a sister server, our mother server. AC is us. We are Craft. We're Craft on 2 different servers. Actually, three
different servers.
three.
Yeah.
Creative. We're all the same. So if we can kind of guide these younger players and be someone that they can look up to, absolutely we should. I think it's great that you guys want to do that.
One day they might be ACO players.
They might. How cool would that be, Abby? One day.
Can I help a player?
Yes. No, you're an admin.
No, you get all the players.
You get them all
You're
anyway.
not allowed to help anyone.
I know.
APL would adopt them all.
Yeah, dude, I would.
Now, but I do have a question on Artcraft after this or something.
Blue, what about growth rate? Percent?
Okay, I pretty much already talked about growth rate. We got 9 new players last.
What are the percentages?
I don't have the percentages.
Aw.
We're focused on every single day that we go forward. I mean, we're growing. We're over like 500% growth or something ridiculous just in the last year. When I came back a year ago this month, I think we had maybe 2 to 3 active players. We had a couple that would pop in here and there. And now we are at, I believe, 47 active players. So we're doing great. I mean, that's obvious. We're not going to talk about that till after we hit 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually,
but actually
but
really liked Ren Elf's. Ren Elf came up with Fortnite, so meaning
Oh,
every
God.
week.
Every fortnight.
Yeah, every fortnight. So
I
it's kind
came
of a
up
fun
with
way to
that.
look at it. Every weekly is a lot, not just because it's immediate, and not just because we have to commit to a week, to once a week, but it's a lot as far as players go, because there's weeks where we don't have much happen, and then there's weeks that we're slammed. So I think going weekly, we need to wait a little bit more on. Let's wait and see what happens in the next month or so with our growth, and we'll evaluate that when the time comes.
Okay.
All right. So with all that said, do you guys have any questions? Anything about anything specific we talked about today? I do apologize. It was a longer meeting. These meetings are usually half an hour for those new people. But we had a lot to talk about today.
I'm still like the screen sharing thing.
How about you talk to either AF and I separately about that?
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else have any specific questions about anything we talked about?
No.
No.
Is there anything
Actually,
you
wanna
guys
talk
think we
to
forgot about?
private though, Blue.
Hey, Blue.
Yes.
Weren't we going to talk about the portal consent thing?
Okay, that kind of falls along. Yeah, and that was kind of where it's headed earlier with the, going back to ACO. Right now, you guys have it so, so-and-so can't enter my portal, and so-and-so went in my portal to the point that a few of you have literally blocked your hallways with obsidian to keep people out. That's not needed. It's truly not needed because ACO is, again, a survival hard server. We have multiple players. Now, it doesn't mean you can't put a sign up saying, please do not enter my portal. Put a sign up. If somebody breaks that and they continue to break it, let us deal with that one person. If somebody griefs, which by the way, in 1 year, we've only had 1 griefing incident, and that's from a player that's not here anymore. So in a year,
that was a whole weird incident. So
and that was really not even griefing, honestly, because back then we had the looting rule. Back then you could loot somebody's
and the
base.
other person was gone. It was
That person was off the server. It was a very unique, isolated, and aside from that,
here's the thing. We know that you guys joke, especially with Blue calling her mom and stuff, and the dad thing. But we should not be your mom. We shouldn't have people coming to us whining and complaining that somebody went to my base, because that's come on, guys. So, if you put up a sign, you don't want people going to your base, and somebody keeps showing up and you're getting frustrated by it, then come to us and we'll talk to that person. But we shouldn't have to be making rules and being mom and dad here and telling everybody, here's the new rule, kids.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's right. I did. Well, technically, Telly, that was during the war game. Telly brought up there was a griefing at his base, but that was during the war game, and
I mean, technically,
under the assumption that it was a miscommunication.
Blue did just grief your base yesterday, but that's...
I did, and I griefed your base big time yesterday. But we won't talk about that.
That's something entirely different.
Yeah, that was that, and that's part of, we had to change rules. Remember, Telly, we did have to change rules during the war game about that. I literally chopped his base in half yesterday.
Blue, is there any way I can get you to put that head with what is it? That you can't take off back on your head again?
9,000.
What's that
Oh,
again?
Blue.
I
Final
put a head
thing.
on
Hold
your
on,
head
Mocular.
yesterday, and you took it off, even though it's not supposed to be taken off.
You killed
No,
me.
no, you can't. You can't. You can't tell somebody. You
killed
can't tell somebody they have to wear something and they're not. That's not a thing.
Yeah, I
I
was
put it
curious.
on her head.
Honestly, I was
That's-
curious how you
I
even
told her
did that.
to fall
Actually.
off her head. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
that's not it. No, you no. No.
Okay. So
No,
any other?
I put a whatever that curse is that makes it not come
Curse
off.
of binding.
I'm
Curse
an
of
admin.
binding?
That's why. I'm an admin.
Yeah,
That's
but
why.
it's supposed to be funny.
That's admin
Yeah.
abuse.
It's admin abuse that I took it off my head.
It's kind of player abuse that you ever got it on.
That's true. All right.
No,
so
it's
any
a game
let's
mechanic. You
hey,
put
games,
a dispenser.
I know.
games.
I know.
Hang on.
But
It's okay.
final thing. I have.
Let's focus on the meeting. So is there any
Okay.
other questions that you guys had
I have
specifically
one.
to the meeting?
I have
When will I
one.
get my sword?
Okay, guys,
You
one
will
at a time.
just as soon as the meeting's over.
As soon as it's over.
I have one.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your very
Basically,
specific question?
in 1.14, the obsidian texture has changed.
All the textures changed. Yes.
I'm wondering if Artcraft's obsidian logo could be updated to fit that.
Oh my gosh. Are you
We're
serious
not
right now?
discussing that right now.
Are you serious right now?
I just
Next,
said
next.
is a question specific to the meeting. Let me rephrase this. Do you have a question specific to this meeting?
No.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Anything they want cleared up? They don't understand. I did see. I did see. Raven, I saw your question. Let's bring that up maybe at the next meeting, since we've kind of already moved past the channels right now. Maybe go ahead and put that in the ideas. That way we don't lose it. You guys use the ideas channel for this stuff. We look at that. Use the idea channel, and then it's something that we can discuss ahead of time. Any other questions?
I'm just waiting for you to adjourn this meeting.
You're just waiting for what?
I'm just waiting for you to adjourn this meeting.
Okay,
I think
I'm about
everybody
to.
is.
So I know I'm done with it. Are you guys done? You guys did great. Chat went well. Everything went great. So you guys ready to go kill some things? Let's go kill some things.
Kill what?
We're gonna head to the end. We're gonna do some wither and some dragon fights. Get some eggs and get some nether
Well,
stars.
I mean, I do need to kill a dragon for the achievement, so I guess.
There you go. Now's your
Mhm.
chance. So Telly, what's your question?
When will the streaming channel be set up?
It
Oh
will
my
be set
gosh.
up later today, not right now.
It's
okay,
coming.
I sort of want to.
Yes, Telly,
When-
I will
you're-
definitely
you're-
give you your snow back.
My killer. When she says, "Telly, what's your question?" That's not your cue to jump in.
Oh,
Yes, Telly, you can get your snow back. I will fix that later today.
blue.
Yes.
What happened to his snow?
I did don't ask. Anyway, go on.
Okay. No, I want to know. I want to know
The
this.
C and chill channel, the C and channel and chill channel is not capitalized in small group one. Those
Oh
need-
God, that.
Mod, next. Anyone else have a question? Anyone else?
Blue,
Yes.
can you let me know when the channel is ready to go?
Yes, I will let you guys know. I won't let you know
Oh, yeah,
personally.
there'll be
I will
announcements.
put it in.
Yeah.
We'll go into Discord. Okay, so Leva has a question. If I say I allow minor pranks, what am I then allowing? So minor is going to be easy, and again, we don't need to dictate exactly word for word, but it's going to be easy cleanup. You guys use your
common sense.
use your common sense on it. So easy cleanup. Make it so
If somebody does pixel art at your base,
yep,
something
fills
like
your
that,
house
like
with chickens, not 100 chickens, Ben.
You have to kill like I don't know.
Yeah, so things like that. And it's an easy cleanup. It's supposed to be more just funny, haha, like, oh my gosh, I opened up the door and I have 30 pigs in my house. How did that happen? That's kind of just funny.
if it's good pixel art, it should stay.
Hey, ET is staying. ET is staying.
Just show some respect for each other. That's all we're asking.
Yeah, it's just more funny. It's changing their signs
It
around.
should be humorous and not
yeah.
So
You could, change out some of their grass for wool, something like that. It's just more like funny, easy cleanup stuff. Extreme is completely different. That's kind of there is no limit other than, again, no killing animals. The animals are innocent in this, guys.
Right,
So like,
and
a
no-
minor prank would be filling someone's house with boats, like I did.
Exactly.
To George,
Yeah.
Who hasn't
Or-
been back on?
Exactly.
filling somebody's base full of fences.
Exactly.
Yes, I do
Trapdoors.
remember
Trapdoors
that.
everywhere.
Make a bunch of carpets and fill their house with carpets. I don't know if that would work.
Yeah, carpets, trapdoors, anything
try-
like that.
Those are easy to break.
Try not to kill people in lava or void or things that are going to be, traumatic. Try not
What
to.
about string?
No.
That was just very messy and took a long time to clean up.
That's annoying.
Yeah, no string.
Yeah. All right. So, any other specific questions to this very specific
Oh, I
meeting?
know. Pressure plate. That's a good idea.
So okay, because you guys can talk about pranks outside of this.
Okay.
It wasn't that string was. It's not that it's extreme. It's just it was a very lengthy cleanup. So again, if he is an extreme, you could do a very lengthy cleanup. If it's not, then use the string isolated to like one small area. The problem with Ben was he has a very large base, and so it just made for a very, 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 very big cleanup.
Yes, when you get to have to clear up 2
All right,
shulker
let's go. Let's go to
string.
the let's go to the end, guys. Let's get this going.
Hey guys.
Yes,
Mhm.
DJ.
All right, now that we're finished, I'm gonna go ahead and jump out of voice chat.
All right.
Well, thanks for being
Okay.
here.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of you guys, this was your
No
first ever
problem.
player of the month. I
Anytime.
guarantee you, it's not
Have a-
always like this.
Have a good day.
If I have a
See ya.
put on the